It's time for the Little Rock Basketball Coaches Show. This broadcast is brought to you by Arkansas Blue Cross Blue Shield, Simmons Bank, the U of A Little Rock Campus Marketing and Communications, and West Rock Coffee.
And welcome to the corner of 3rd and Rock, Dugan's Pub, for another edition of the Little Rock Basketball Coaches Show. I'm Trojan, joined by what should be the Ohio Valley Conference Coach of the Year, and Joe Foley, as his team has won the Ohio Valley Conference Championship in their first year in the league, and the NCAA tournament hopefully awaits as Little Rock heads to the Ohio Valley Conference tournament on Friday. Their first game, well, it's yet to be determined who they're going to play. They're either going to play Southeast Missouri, UT Martin, or Morehead State. Little Rock, by winning the Ohio Valley Conference, gets the number 1 seed. They get a double bye into the semifinals, so they only have to win 2 games. And Coach, I know that was the goal at the beginning of the year, is get to March, and you're in March, and you're the number 1 seed in the conference tournament, so you don't have to play until Friday. You only have to win 2 games to get to the NCAA tournament.
Well, you say only 2 games. That's a big 2 games. I mean, the thing is kind of a double-edged sword. It always, the team that we'll be playing has at least played on that floor a couple of times, and they're used to playing in that gym, and we've never been in that gym, so that makes a little bit of difference. But and they're on the road. It's like I told our kids today. I said they're going to be hot because it means they've won a game or 2, and so they're playing pretty well. So we're going to have to play well right off the bat.
Let's we'll talk about last week here in a little bit. I want to get this tournament talk going and get it flowing a little bit. Sally Korma, back-to-back Sun Belt Player of the Week, and she had a great week last week. And hopefully there'll be more good news coming tomorrow from the rest of the Ohio Valley that includes our team. But also last week there was a big award that was announced, and that was Angelique Francis is going to be the award recipient of the Pat Summit Award for Courage. And that goes all of women's basketball. She's going to be presented that award at the Final Four. You're going to get to go down there. And I told her, I don't know if I told you this, but I told her after she got that, I went up and congratulated her. I said, there's no one more deserving. But I said, Leek, if we can win 2 games at the Ohio Valley Conference tournament, we get into the NCAA tournament, and then you can take the rest of your team to the Final Four by winning 4 games. no pressure, Coach.
No pressure at all. And getting to the tournament will be, icing and cake. We phenomenal for this bunch, and they deserve it and work hard, but they don't always need to get what they deserve.
That's true.
Life is life. So I told them today, I said, to me, the conference champion overall, you're the regular season champion. And it used to be that way. You should be the one team that got to go because you proved yourself the whole year. We proved you that we're the best team over a long period of time. So we're the best team in the conference. But are we going to be the best team next week? That's what matters. And teams can get hot every week, and you can get cold every week. And take Illinois, they're rolling along, undefeated, and all of a sudden they've lost 4 out of 5, and they've got just as good a time as they had when they were 15-0. If they hit a streak there where they didn't play well, that can happen to anybody. So next week is the week, and you hope you're hot and play well.
Well, and that's what you always say. You say, look, the non-conference is a non-conference. You finished 3-8 in non-conference play this year. It is what it is. And then you got to conference play. You go 17-1 in Ohio Valley Conference play, and you throw all that out the window. It's a completely new season that starts for UT Martin, Morehead State, SIUE, and Tennessee State on Wednesday.
And, they're looking forward to this just as much as anybody. I mean, they've got just as good a chance right now of saying, okay, we can win this thing. And they do. I mean, and after those games on Wednesday, those teams that are left have that. It's a day-by-day tournament. You're either in or you're out. And that's what they call it March Madness. I mean, there's nothing like it. And get to those, 5, 6, and 8 teams is an unbelievable feeling. Fortunately, we've had it, and I'd love to see this team get it again. I'd love to get it again. There's nothing like it. And, when you're coaching in Division I level and your team gets announced, that's the biggest thrill of it.
What were your thoughts when you found out that Angelique was going to be named the award recipient for the Pat Summit Award of Courage this year?
Well, I'm kind of in awe of it. With her being selected from a mid-major, usually everything goes to the big
Power fives.
Power fives. And so you don't expect a lot of reward and stuff. And for them to come out and realize what she's done, what she's been through, I think they did a great job. I think they did. I'm like you. I don't think anybody. I don't know anybody would have deserved it more. And of course, you don't know everybody what goes on in everybody's life, but I mean, approximately what's going on in Leek's life. And you know, to me, I'm like you. You got to have a lot of credit for what she's doing.
Well, I flew over the American Airlines Center this morning, leaving Dallas, coming back here to Little Rock, and I saw those signs that says, Angelique and Joe Foley, we can't wait to see you. On the arena when I was flying out.
I hadn't seen the signs.
I'm pulling your leg, man.
That's when you got me off guard. I was like, what are you talking about?
No, but I mean, hey, that's something that she has struggled at times in her life. And I mean, and let's face it, she's put it out there. She thought about suicide at times in her life. And that's hard to fathom, that someone would be that down to think about taking their own life. And now look at her, she's one of the leaders of this basketball team.
Yes, and you know, the thing that she brings it forward to help other people. And, you know, being in this business, you know, there's young kids anymore, as much stress as they got on in life and things that are going on in their lives, you know, all the drugs and things, and the way things happen so quick. You know, they struggle with this. And mental health is a huge problem. And, you know, they need all the help they can get. And, you know, when a kid comes out, he lets other kids know that there are people that you can talk to. There is help you can get. And, you know, you got to give credit for somebody that come forward like that.
Do you ever think that sometimes during a game when she might miss a shot or the pass doesn't hit her just perfectly or she doesn't throw the correct pass, if you think about jumping on her, but you're like, wait, she's been through so much, maybe I just need to sit back and let her figure it out?
Well, I've said time when I'm coaching, I don't have time to think about this stuff. Afterwards, I'm like, you know, maybe I should, but I think she wants to be treated just like everybody else.
Yeah.
I think all my kids know I'm going to treat you just, everybody's going to get treated the same. So, you know, I mean, discipline kids different, you handle kids, but when it's just a spur of the moment, I don't stop and think, okay, this is that kid, this is that. We're just playing basketball, just do what you're supposed to do, but when it comes to life, then I may take you, maybe one another kid, I may take you and kick him in the back.
What about when you were at Arkansas Tech, Miranda was playing for you?
Well, Miranda didn't play for me.
Oh, she didn't play for you? I thought she played for you.
No,
she coached for you.
She coached.
Well, did you jump on her then?
I've always criticized Miranda just like a player. I will say this, when my kids play sports, that's one thing I didn't do. I didn't overreact. I said, listen to your coach, do what you're told to do, and we talk about something that would help them. I didn't care, but I wasn't going to intervene. I wasn't going to do anything. Everything.
She's here! Angelique Francis is in the building. How about that? The Pat Summit Award for Courage this year, a big national award that will be given out at the Final Four. Leek makes it down to Dugan's Pub. Good to have you, Leek. Hey, your dinner, well, I can't do that.
No,
I can't buy her meal. Yeah, I don't want to create a violation by the NCAA right here. Let's talk about the week that was. Little Rock beats SIUE 61-38, held them to 4 points in the fourth quarter, and then you beat Lindenwood 64-50, held them to 8 points in the fourth quarter. And let's talk about the SIUE game first. We thought that would be one that they've got a good player in Tata, and I hear the music, so we'll have to talk about it after the break. But going into that game, I think that one gave us more concern over everything because there was a lot on the line. You win that game, you get the conference outright, you don't have to share any titles or anything like that.
And you get the number 1 seed.
And you get the number 1 seed. That's right. They get you playing at 1 o'clock on Friday. We'll talk about that and more. We'll come back. You're listening to Little Rock Coaches Show here on the Little Rock Trojans Radio Network.
Trying to keep up.
Welcome back to Dugan's Pub. Little Rock Trojan basketball brought to you by UAMS Health. Proud to be the medical provider for the Little Rock Trojans and fans across the state. And also want to thank Simmons Bank. They are the official sponsor of Little Rock Trojans women's athletics. So Coach Joe Foley, Trey Shupp, let's go back to the games last week. 61-38 over SIUE. Sally Corma led the way. 21 points, 9 rebounds for you. You had 3 players in double figures. Jayla Brooks, a surprising 18 points, 16 from Tia Harvey. And we talked before the game, and we talked before the game on Saturday about you wanting to find another score to go with Sally and Tia, and Jayla stepped up in that game.
Well, we've been showing a team film where they've been using her man to really clog up the middle to try to help down in there and keep them from driving and getting easy baskets. And I said, we're going to have to get this changed. We're going to start now. And she stepped up, and the kids, realized what was going on and did a great job getting involved.
Jaya Smith, no points, but she had 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and only 1 turnover.
That's a pretty good role for a point guard.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever got 8 rebounds in a year.
Well, did you ever rebound?
I didn't go in there. Those big guys, I stayed away from them.
Jaya doesn't care. She goes right in there, doesn't she?
Exactly.
She knows where the ball's coming off. And Sally Corman just missed out on a double-double, had 9 rebounds in that game, 5 steals in the game as well. She seems like, Coach, she's picking up a knack of knowing where the basketball's going.
Well, Sally's played enough ball, and she got a good basketball mind. Some kids just got a good basketball mind. And she anticipates, and anybody that can anticipate is going to get steals. And, she does she's doing even a better job right now, like you say, understanding where the other team's trying to get it and kind of leading her there and going, and that's a good role. That's a good role for her.
And with that win, you secured the #1 seed, and it's my understanding, because when I saw Bobby Brazel come out to do the post-game interview, he looked a little drenched. It's my understanding that in the locker room after the game when the trophy was handed to you, that some of the Gatorade bottles that had water in them, they were empty.
We got pretty salty. It was a lot of fun. You could see the joy in their eyes. And, I was even a little surprised at how much that I could tell how much they appreciated it. I knew they wanted more, but man, you can just see it. That this is what they wanted to accomplish, and it really fulfilled that dream of something like that.
I think it fulfilled the dream of Sally Corman.
I did too.
I saw something different in her.
I did too. And it kind of surprised me, and it was a good surprise. It made my heart feel good. That's because you don't know about players or foreign kids, how to, and that's what I like about this team. It doesn't matter if they're first year, second year, they've all fit in together, they all listen and try to do what we ask them to do. And that's the reason we win.
Lindenwood. You beat them 64-50, but it didn't come easy. You were only up 4 points at the half. I mean, a 16-16 first quarter, 16-12 second quarter. Do you think it was the emotional letdown of finally clinching the #1 seed and we beat this team so bad at our place that maybe they were just trying to go through the motions?
Well, that's a little bit of it. You don't have that like where, okay, we got to do this or we're not going to win. We're not going to get that trophy. So they did that the night before, the 2 nights before. And like you say, that was a tough game. I thought it started off, we got foul trouble. Well, things wasn't going their way, and then the second half, we just took over. And that was good to see. But then after that, I knew when you get that emotional about something that high, and I always try to not let it get too high. Because good highs are going to have lows, and you can't keep playing. So if we can just keep them on the even keel and keep them going, that's the way you try to do it in coaching. But sometimes you just got to enjoy it when something like that happens. And so I knew it would be tough. And the other thing is, people don't realize it's matchups a lot of times. It's not the other team didn't beat this team or they got beat with 20. When you match up different teams, and the 2 teams that was pretty hard for us to match up against was the bottom 2 teams, Indiana and this one, because they really tried to attack us inside and then keep it out for the threes, and they were good enough post players, and they're not big anyway. I still tell everybody I'm amazed about our defense because we're not big enough to do what we do. So I just say, all right, let's just keep going.
Let's roll with it.
Let's roll with it and enjoy it. But, teams that really go inside and you can keep it out on us. And both of those teams, that's what they try to do.
Lindenwood was 6 of 19 from behind the three-point line. A lot of those were in the first half. Maybe when their legs started going away.
They were 5 for 7.
They might have been. Well, I know Fury was 3 of 3 in the first half. She could shoot it quick. She finished 3 of 5. So maybe they did lose their legs. And something else that's ironic looking at this box score is Little Rock scored 16 points in the first quarter, 16 in the second, 16 in the third, and 16 in the fourth.
I didn't realize that.
I mean, I've been looking at it here, 64, but you hold them to 8 points in the fourth quarter. Your defense really stuck down.
And then, I can hear it kids in the huddle that second, that middle of the third quarter. Guys, we're better. Let's get this going. Let's play where we're supposed to play. And, when you start hearing that, then you kind of go, they're fixing it.
That's good to hear. We'll be back with more of Coach. After this, you're listening to Little Rock Basketball Coaches Show presented by Learfield on the Little Rock Trojans Radio Network. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Little Rock Basketball Coaches Show. Trojan Basketball sponsored by Pepsi. It's the choice of UA Little Rock. I'm going to do something here, Coach Foley, Trey Schaff. I see that City Manager Bruce Moore is in the audience tonight. And is there any way we can get the Bridges maroon for Coach Foley and his Trojans winning the conference? And then, if they win Saturday night for another trip to the NCAA tournament, get the Bridges maroon again? No, he said we could do that. How about that? That's right. When his floor, you got your name on the floor, they did it for that.
Sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's talk about this tournament, Coach. Looking at the seeding, Little Rock obviously the number 1 seed, 17-1, Ohio Valley Conference champions. Eastern Illinois finished 14-4, and so they are the 2 seed. Tennessee Tech finished 13-5. They are the 3 seed. They're on the opposite side of the bracket. Yeah, those two.
Yeah.
But there is a team. There are a couple of teams on our side of the bracket that concern me. And that's number 4 seed Southeast Missouri. They finished at 10-8, 1 game ahead of UT Martin, who is the 5 seed. They take on Morehead State in the opening game of the conference tournament, 1 o'clock on Wednesday. We'll be on the bus about that time, I believe.
I'll tell you, UT Martin, we beat them with that last second
shot at the beginning, the first game in Ohio Valley Conference.
Exactly, and they have had different people get hurt the whole year, and they've just now gotten back together. So, to me, they may be the most dangerous team in the tournament.
Okay, but here's a question for you. Yeah, you might say they might be the most dangerous team, but their cohesiveness, with them not being able to play, do you think that might change something?
I'm just saying they lost kids for 2 weeks here, a week there. It wasn't like they lost them for the whole year, but they played together enough that I don't think that's a problem. I think that getting back and probably pretty well rested because they got set out and stuff.
Yeah, so, but are they in basketball shape too?
Yeah, and that's part of it. But I'm just saying for a team that's had bad luck the whole year, they're the ones that's been really hit the most. And, they may be getting well at the right time.
Well, Kevin McMillan pretty well. Why don't you give him a call and say, hey, Coach, if you win 2 of them, we're going to see you again.
Yeah, over there. They came back on us over there.
They did. They did that trap, that 1-3-1 and trapped at the top.
Exactly. So they know how Kevin does a great job. They've been in the NCAA tournament themselves. They know how to play this time of year. But I think they're a dangerous team.
Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville, and Tennessee State tied at 7-11, but SIUE gets the 6th seed. The only thing that is they're going to wear their home jerseys. Tennessee State will wear the road jerseys in that game. That is the second game on Wednesday, 3:30 p.m., and then it turns to the men, so we're only concerned with the women. But I want to ask you about, I know today, light practice, tomorrow you'll put a little more on them. You'll take some off Wednesday morning. We'll hit the road to Evansville, get to the hotel sometime around 6, 7 o'clock. And how will you handle that Thursday and prep for Friday? Will we go watch that game at 3 to kind of let the ladies see a little bit of the atmosphere of the tournament, or what?
I don't know. We've got a boys and girls, there's a boys and girls club there that we're going to practice on. And we're going to take that game. So, I don't know if I'm going to take the time to go. But, we're right there at it, so we might just walk over there for a little bit and then go to practice. And, we need to, know who won and lost. And so we're trying to make it good. We well know who we're going to be playing, and the boys and girls club and work out for a little bit. And go back and get the film and break it down, and that's it. And get up what you can do next time. Get ready to go.
Yeah, hopefully get a victory. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you've been in it a lot longer than I have. I mean, that's typically how you would handle a situation like this. It's a little bit different than the Sun Belt, though, because you have a day in between. Here, there are no days in between, and whoever wins that game, they're going to have to turn around and try to prepare for Little Rock as well.
Yeah. But, you know, and these kids are, you know, 18, 19, 20-year-old kids. And whenever really gets popping, and I'll never forget South Alabama. When almost, you know, we played in that fourth game. And they had the last second shot to beat us. So it didn't bother them a whole lot. But that's what I'm saying. When the team gets on the road this time of year, they play to it again. You know.
If there's anything good I can say about South Alabama is they beat Troy on Saturday, so that was good. The last second shot at the Mitchell Center, they beat Troy. Little Rock fans, you know what I'm talking about. You love seeing that. Hey, it's the fact that being one of those top 2 seeds, you get to stay right there next to the facility as well, the Ford Center where the games are being played. So if you wanted to, like you said, you could just walk over there and maybe watch 15, 20 minutes and then leave.
Right. And, you know, to me, this is the way it should be done. We never did this for our teams in the conference. So, to me, this gives the 1 and 2 the best chance of getting there. And you want your best teams playing in the tournament. And, you know, hopefully we're playing well and we get there, but at least we get the best shot.
Your win on Saturday was 853 in your collegiate coaching career. You passed your good buddy Gary Blair.
That's the reason I'm laughing. It was fun because he's been bothering me now for 2 or 3 weeks. And, you know, we've all got friends that know us.
Yeah.
And they know how good the player is and they know what I am. So, you know, they're rubbing it in right now on coach, and they're loving you there. But at least when we go things together and golf together and spring training, baseball, whatever we're playing on there and stuff, at least I can always look at him when he starts that stuff on me about, hey, we did this. Like I said, who's the highest on the win list?
Well, I've got a little birdie that told me he put his name in for the job at UCA.
Yeah.
He wants to come back and try it.
Then his own assistant,
Bob Starkey.
I talked to Bob today about something, and I said, Bob, did you know that what happened? And he said, no, what happened? I said, well, I passed Coach Brown this week. He said, you're kidding me. He said, I'm calling him right now. And saying, the phone really went ahead of you. And he said, he'll come back and coach again.
That's what hey, I'm worried about it. I mean, he might. I know you're not worried about it. You can care less. But that is something that you have up on. Now you can't let him win any bets on the golf course.
Blair will have so many bets that you never even know what they are. And he'll tell you at the end, hey, you owe me $1.50. And you don't know why.
$1.50. Y'all play for a lot.
It's quarter here, quarter there. It's ridiculous.
Right now, if you've got a senior in college and you want to get them into the University of Arkansas in Little Rock, you can get up to 50% off your freshman tuition and fees. Visit ualr.edu. It's weird to walk into the Jack Stevens Center right now and not see a floor down on the court. I mean, that thing was up and gone while we were leaving to head to Illinois.
Exactly. Yeah. I always say cut it down for another week, and they need to realize that, you know, us and guys can both still be playing, and we're playing for the big bucks right now. And they need to move that back a week. It wouldn't hurt if you look at the time the rest of the time it back, and they don't have it, that's fine. But we don't care if we can move it back a week.
Right.
So they need to do that next year.
Well, maybe they will. Listen to you.
That's where you got to throw the plug in now.
You're going to start throwing a lot of plugs in soon, I think.
A lot of plugs,
yeah. What would it mean? I mean, we talked about this team and them winning the championship and the emotion, and good to see Angelique Francis finally get a ring, Tia Harvey finally get a ring. Every 4 years, Sally's got one, but it seems like every 4 years, players have come through your system. They've been able to get a ring, and that's one thing I noticed, that they were pointing their fingers.
I've always been able to then recruit and say, hey, you won't leave here without a ring, and we were getting close this time. We were getting close. So
is that why you came back this year?
In a way, it really was. I mean, I owe those kids, just, you know, Angelique and Tia, you know, had, you know, and it's like I told them when we won. I said, guys, we could have won some others if it hadn't been for COVID. and losing players because of it and having to miss 2 or 3 weeks prior. Ours is always getting ready for the end of the year. And when you can't do that, and when you can't get in the gym, that takes the coaching out of it. And I didn't get to coach those kids the way I wanted to coach them. And they got through this year, and it's been a pleasure.
How do you feel that Jayla Brooks, Jaya Harris-Smith have molded into the players? I mean, they might not be complete the way you want them in your system, but I can tell a big difference from game 1 against UAPB and game 2 against Ole Miss to game 29 against Lindenwood the other night.
Exactly, and that's learning what you got, what you can do, play in your role, doing what you're asked to do, give up things to help your team, and that a lot of players won't do that. And those two have done that. Everything I've asked, they've tried to do it, and that's what I'm saying. This group, it's it hasn't been a struggle to coaching, trying to get kids to do things. And like I say, the last couple of years it's been tough because you couldn't keep them there. Some kids didn't want to give up a role that they thought they wanted. And this bunch has done that. And when you get to coach a bunch like this is what makes you appreciate it. And this is the reason I stayed in coaching for 44 years. Because, when I coached those national championship teams, I didn't realize what I was coaching. And I didn't tell them thanks enough. And I didn't tell them, hey, this is awesome. So I learned that I thought I was going to do that every year.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. And so when you get a team, I try to tell them that. And I tell the kids, I'm going to tell you when you do things good. I'm going to tell you when you do things bad. I used to just tell them when you do things bad. So I learned the lesson pretty quickly and coached them. And when you get a good bunch, tell them and tell other people what you think of it. And that's the reason I got my environment on this team. Talent-wise, I think we got more talent. But I ain't never had a team that's played as hard as this team.
Sometimes you have to tell them when they do things bad in a different language that we can't say on the radio, too.
I've been known to do that.
But they understand it. And hey, once practice is over, it's like, okay, he's just out there having practice and everything. He's my buddy now.
Yeah, but they know how much I love them, how much I like doing with them. And when you do that, when they know that, it don't hurt to get you better.
For someone that is just on the outside and gets to travel with the team, I can tell you, this is a close, tight-knit group. They care about each other. They like to kid and joke around. They like to have fun at times. They're loose, which sometimes I think they're too loose before a game, but they find a way to go out there and play the game the way it should be played.
Yeah, and you don't want to be on the bus about 12 o'clock at night, 11 and 12, because they're waking back up by the time you get close to Little Rock.
Yeah, when you get for City of Brinkley, they start singing.
I'm glad to get off the bus.
No doubt about that. Well, Coach, we want to say good luck this week, and all we got to do is win 2 games.
Let's win 2.
Win 2 games and win in the NCAA tournament. I've kind of looked at where Charlie Krim, the female version of bracketology, has said, but hey, we don't care. Send us to UConn. We'll go play Gino.
Exactly. I love to play. I just want to play somebody.
So hey, we want to play somebody, no doubt about it. He's Joe Foley. I'm Trey Schapp. We'll be back with more of the Little Rock Basketball Coaches Show after this. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Little Rock Basketball Coaches Show. Little Rock Trojan basketball broadcasts are brought to you by Baptist Health. Baptist Health provides the care you need to keep you and your family amazing. For more information, visit Baptist-Health.com. Trey Schapp joined by the head coach of your Little Rock Trojan men, Darryl Walker. And unfortunately, Coach, we're not talking about games this week coming up. Your team is not going to be in the Ohio Valley Conference tournament. I know that's disappointing, and it was a tough way to end the season, too, in overtime. Full disclosure, I watched until there were about 13 minutes left to go, and I had to catch a flight to Dallas to go see my father-in-law. And I'm texting, because I'm on Southwest, so you can text, but I can't stream the game. So I text Coach Weedor on our bus, and I said, what's going on? They were up 13 when I took off. He goes, 2 minutes left, it's down to 2. I said, oh, no. And so I said, well, keep me updated. Then I didn't hear anything for a little while. And it was about 5-6 minutes. I said, Weed, what's going on? He goes, it's in overtime. I said, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Lindenwood won on Thursday night in double overtime, and then they win on that last-second three-pointer. How many times have you lost on the last-second three-pointer this year?
It's been a lot. That's basically how the year has been. you know, to be honest about it. The kid shot the ball. I told Coach Griffin, I said, that's good. And he looked at me like I said, that's good. And, you know, a tough loss for our guys. It shouldn't have came down to that. Once again, we didn't close it out. More than capable of closing out. Just wanted to roll once again, had a lead, and didn't get it done.
Well, you hope that you would take care of it Thursday night. You won your game. Little Rock beat SIUE 79-74. SIUE, by the way, they're the ones that hit the 70-footer to beat you in the Jack Stevens Center earlier this season, but you get them back. Myron Gardner, another double-double, 12 and 11. You had 19 from C.J. White, 14 from D.A. And then we head to Saturday, and, well, I mean, riding the bus, we were able to watch some of the game. I was in the car with Patrick, and I was watching that game, and Patrick's like, what's happening? I said, it's going to overtime. I was like, you got to be kidding me. And I'm like, we need SEMO to win this game, and we're in.
You know, my thing is, I told my guys, you can't depend on somebody else to do something for you. I said, you put ourselves in this position from day one in the conference, not taking care of home, and losing so many games at the last media time, either being up one time, down, or whatever it may be, and never to close some things out. So we put ourselves in this situation we didn't win with. We should have closed it out, but we didn't. It was a tough loss. I felt bad for the guys. At the end of the day, I'm heading out next week. Try to get better.
In the game against Lindenwood, D'Anthony Gordon, what a game he had. 35 points, 9 rebounds. I don't think they could stop him.
Nobody can stop him. We stopped ourselves. So D.A. Has really improved as the season has went on, along with Myron Gardner, CJ, and Isaiah. Those guys have really improved the whole year. Looking forward to having those guys back and adding some more pieces to it and getting after the game next year. Hopefully we'll learn from all these things that we went through this year. Hopefully we'll learn how to close things out. I think we will.
I've been around some teams that have had heartbreaking seasons.
It's a tough year for us.
It's got to be tough.
It's a tough year, these guys.
Do you feel like you're snake bit?
You know, COVID wasn't good. I'm not going to excuses. I'm the head coach, so everyone stops for me. But at the end of the day, you know, we had a lot of things happen last year with everybody being hurt. This year being a young and very inexperienced basketball team, so hopefully we can just learn and carry it over the next season. And hopefully our schedule won't be so tough as it was this past year. This schedule was a daunting schedule for a young team to go on the road that long and get beat up. Where I looked at other teams with OBC, they were playing games they could win and get some confidence with OBC.
Right. What did you say to the guys in the locker after the game against Lindenwood? I mean, how do you explain it to them?
Nothing to say. I talked about what I said the last time out. There's a fine line between winning and losing. We had to put ourselves in that position. We didn't have to be in that position all the year. They were devastated. What are you going to say to the guys are basically in there crying? You just got to leave it alone and let them gather their thoughts and let them settle down. That's what I did. I short and sweet what I said. I told them I would beat them all individually in the next couple of weeks and we'll go from there.
It's got to be tough, though, as a head coach to see your players struggle at times, but then on the flip side, win close games too, because there were some close games that you were able to pull out this season.
I'm just going to tell you, we go back to that. That is just, that's not true. That's what it was. Most of the time, it's a high show. So it wasn't good. I like this team. It's going out my mind. We're going to DC next year. We're getting our 4 guys back and we're making our way out to the team. This Sunday, and we're going to roll for a while. Longer. I think we won the summer. We were a longer team. We were one of the bigger teams in the conference. We got to get back and be a longer again.
Do you feel like you have a nucleus that you can build around?
I mean, Myron, D.A., Isaiah decided to come back. The other one, those 3 is PJ Smith. Those 4 are really solid players in the OVC. And I expect D.A. and Myron Gardner to beat OVC. First or second, third team, no doubt in my mind about that. So we have something to build on. Talking about that direction we want to go in. We want to get longer. We want to get bigger. And make sure we got a solid schedule next year, but not a schedule to reach your head in and make the team beat up before you get to the OPC. So everybody's on the same page and just about going out and recruiting more players.
Saying you want to get bigger and longer, where do you go to find those types of players?
I go everywhere. I got a lot of contacts. Since I've been in basketball all my life, I got a lot of contacts in the States and overseas, in Serbia and Croatia. So we know how to do this. Obviously, what we do. So keep doing it.
Is it time to go to Europe and find something?
No, we're gonna be disappearing for a while this month. So I told my wife, don't be looking for me. I'm gonna be going and head to a junior college tournament in St. Louis this Sunday coming up. So we're gonna be for a while.
DJ Smith, he showed some flashes
Up
this
and down.
season. Yeah, and the game against SIUE, I thought he made some moves in that game that you're just sitting back and you're like, wow, how did he do that? But then he has games where you're like, wow, what happened? Where did he go?
It just becomes a those teams sometimes. You know, we forget that he is small in caliber, so he's very inconsistent. Sometimes he can go all over the place, go over the next game. He doesn't. And that's part of the maturity problem of moving up. And hopefully next year he'll go up some more.
Small in caliber, coach, but big hard jump, and he's got,
he's
like
athletic.
you said, he can go up and rebound the basketball as good as any guard in the league I've seen.
No, he's athletic. He's still just maturity level of thing I have to do with that. And that's hard for you guys to do every night. It's all.
And it's tough. I've always said it. When you go like football, when you go from high school to the Power 5 level, it's a different level. Mid-major is different. The same thing with basketball. When you go from high school to college, it's a different level.
It's just totally different level. The guys are big, the guys are athletic. And the teams, most of the teams are going to be better than you play every night. In high school, sometimes you're the best guy on the court for 3 weeks, you know,
Right,
so
right.
you're going to have some consistency, but in college, it's totally different, man. It's good players. It's good basketball players up there.
You had said last week that your family, some of them in the St. Louis area, I saw them at the game at SIUE and had to pass through them one time. They were gracious to let me out out of the aisle, and I saw you talking to them after the game, and I know they enjoyed seeing you.
I had seen them for 2 or 3 times. It was going to catch up and talk to Walker family history and get something to eat in the hotel and catch up. So they enjoyed it. I did too.
That's awesome. That's awesome. The 4 Points by Sheraton Little Rock Midtown is the official hotel partner of the Little Rock Trojans, and we also need to let you know that PI Roofing is your roof leak detective. They serve with professional workmanship, the best prices, the best warranty, and best of all, peace of mind. They're online at piroofing.com. Coach, I want to talk about the Anthony Group. He played 42 minutes in the loss against Lindenwood, and I know that's a lot. 14 of 18 from the floor, 7 of 8 at the free throw line, 9 rebounds, 25 points, only committed 2 fouls, drew 4, had 6 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block shot. That's a solid stat line.
I didn't think they had anybody that could really go out. So I went to him early and late. He may have got a little tired, but he gave us all. You can see the progression last year. He played 8 games. You know, he didn't get a chance to play. Now, when we started off this season, he still was a young basketball player, not a lot of minutes. So there's still a lot of teaching and learning. But he just kept getting better along the line. He just kept getting better. You could tell every game was getting better.
When DA comes and sits down with you, can you give us an insight into what that conversation would be like for you and him?
Someone that makes sure he takes care of keep me out on his knee. I know he's bothering me a little bit this year. I think he's going to the ball and he's increased his range a little bit on the jump shot. Other than that, he's pretty solid in the post. He puts the ball in the mid-post area. I see him being first team OVC the next couple of years. So he's a good player to watch along with his mind. And I know he's a solid player.
Myron Gardner did not have a double-double. He did have 18 points. He did foul out of the game.
He always fouls out
against Lindenwood.
That's a problem.
That's how that conversation is going to go with him. Hey, yeah, I need you the whole game.
Myron has to become more of a basketball player. I've told him that 1,000 times. So we'll have that conversation. And also would like for his post game to do it a little bit better. So he comes back so we can post him something coaches.
He's Darrell Walker. I'm Trey Schapp. We'll take our final timeout and come back with more here at Dugan's Pub, the corner of 3rd and Rock. It's a Little Rock basketball coaching show. Stay with us here on the Trojans Radio Network. Welcome back to Dugan's Pub in the corner of 3rd and Rock, the Little Rock basketball coaches show. Darrell Walker, Trey Schapp with you. For over 65 years, Arkansas Blue Cross Blue Shield has helped Arkansas residents. Arkansas Blue Cross Blue Shield live fearless. Coach, you talked about that brutal schedule that you had this year. I think I remember talking to Tuck maybe in November that you guys were on the road for like 11 straight days, maybe?
Yeah, we played Indiana. That was a good game. Still got.
We see where Indiana is now.
Yeah, I know. They're a good team. I think they're a good team to walk on the court. Then we had to go to Sanford, Miami, Ohio, take that bus ride.
Yep.
There for a couple of days, then bus ride back. Go on flight all the way out to San Francisco. So it was a long trip. One schedule and played the University of Memphis. So we only had basically 3 home games at home. And right now I'm just getting ready for next year and get recruitment. That's all I'm doing because this season is over. I'm putting in the books and I'm getting ready for next year.
Well, we have to talk about the Ohio Valley Conference Tournament. Unfortunately, Little Rock's not there. Morehead State won the league this year, #1 team. You beat them. I mean, isn't that just crazy how this season went? That's a team that, I mean, you handled here in the Rock when they came to the Jack.
It was an interesting week. We just got to go with this team. There's no doubt in my mind. I thought it was such a dangerous team. Nobody on the season. Because offensively we can just put numbers up fast and quick. So it didn't happen as part of it. First year the Sun Belt was kind of the same type of season. We won 10 games and they were turned around the next year. So Coach David had to sit back and talk to him. We know what to do. We've seen the league. We know what to do. We know what we got. Who's coming back. What we're going to do. So we get prepared for next year right now. And I know it's a long way from now. But you got to get prepared for it right now.
What did you learn about the Ohio Valley Conference this year?
It's just like the Sun Belt Conference. It's a wing guard league, and that's why we get big. We had Ante out there on the night, and sometimes we're kind of long out there, but we have to get longer.
Do you think Nigel, at times it seemed like he was getting frustrated this season?
Well, he hadn't played a lot of basketball. He's been homeschooled, he's played previous basketball. He didn't know how to play. And it was frustrating to us as a staff, it was frustrating to him. We go over the same things over and over, but as big, it takes bigs a while to get going. In some games you can get going like the Lindenwood game, he couldn't get going, so I had to take him out.
Yeah, unfortunately he couldn't.
No.
Lindenwood will play Southeast Missouri on Wednesday, the first game 6:30, and then SIUE and Southern Indiana that night. The 2 winners there will take on Lindenwood, Southeast Missouri. The winner there will take on Tennessee State. SIUE, Southern Indiana will take on UT Martin. And then Morehead State's the 1 seed, Tennessee Tech's the 2 seed. Coach, who do you think wins this whole game?
Don't know and don't care, to be honest with you. And I'm not being
Right.
Yeah,
But you'd like the Little Rock to be in there and they would
we're not in it, so it would be hard for me to watch it because I know we can't beat anybody. And everybody knows.
And you have.
And I know, so
I mean, the top 4 seeds, you've beaten all of them at least once.
I stay away from that. Coach Baker said he won't watch it. You know,
do you think you need your players to?
Hopefully they do. And see what could have been. And hopefully they do. And I think they will watch some of it. There's no doubt in my mind. If they're not, they'll look at the scores and go, man,
right.
Yeah, so
it should have been us.
It's a learning process for them. I've kind of moved on because I'm getting ready for next year. Like I said, it's kind of like the Sun Belt. You know, to fill out the year for me my first year in college. And Sun Belt. And now I had this first year OVC up under my belt. So, hey, I got the formula and Coach Baker and I'm ready to go and get ready for next year. I know it seems like a long way from here, and it is. You know what? We need a break as a staff. The players need a break. Really guys, and I'm ready to go.
When you say Serbia, Croatia, the type of basketball that they play over there, for us Americans who don't see that on a daily basis or even on a monthly basis, what type of basketball do they play over there?
They play physical. They really share the basketball. It's a lot of movement on a consistent basis.
More of a motion offense?
More of a motion offense. They move a lot. They all are skilled. They all can dribble, pass, and shoot. Some of them struggle with the athleticism when they come over here to the state, but once they figure that out, they're really good basketball players. And I've got some good guys coming in. Roban's played well. Marcus Richardson, when he was here, Controller. Those guys are solid. They helped us win the Sunday. They helped us win the Sunday.
How would you like to see your non-conference ship up next year? I know there are a couple of games that you have to play UCA, Arkansas State, and the Jack next season. But how would you like to see the rest of it ship up?
Well, we got to play a schedule that's good for our guys. That's what we're beneficial to our guys and not beat them up. You know, these teams and get physically beat up. I mean, it's nice to get Indiana to play with Tennessee State. You know, they're really a high level NCAA team, so physically beat you up. It's like And maybe the Arkansas Prime Brook football team playing Alabama. Yeah, they get the money, but they also got guys hurt for the next few weeks.
Right. You don't need that. You don't need that because not only do you miss it in practice, but they're definitely not in the game.
No, so it's a different level. That's why we got all these different levels, low-mid majors, majors, high-mid majors. You know basketball is basketball. At the end of the day, most high-mid schools will be majors.
When you look at the Little Rock and the program as a whole, and I know it's down, but it's like everything else. There are ups and downs, and you feel like the next season, like you said earlier, the fact your first year in the Sun Belt didn't do very well. Next year, you won the league.
Won the league, and the next year, Coach kid. And the rest of everybody, to be honest about that, fourth year, playing with 6 guys out there, and now this year, I think it works out for me. It hasn't been an easy ride for me. Always been a roller coaster, something disaster happened around basketball team. So hopefully, it'll definitely be better this year.
It's kind of like turbulence.
No,
right? I hate turbulence on an airplane, and I hate having to go through that, but you got to go through it.
It's part of it. I think this program is on solid ground. The win loss doesn't say that it's on solid ground. We got good kids, and graduate guys, graduating class, staying in the truck. So it's just a matter of people got to get it.
I know you and Coach Foley talked quite a bit throughout the season. What do you think about what his ladies have been able to accomplish this year, what they have left ahead of them?
I think they're going to win. They're motivated. The most important thing, right? Defensively, they're just off the chart. So they suffocate you, they choke you, and after a while, when you can't breathe, most of the time you just go sit down and give in.
I think that's what happened to Lindenwood. I think it's what happened to SOU too, because I mean they gave up 4 points in the fourth quarter and SOU 8 in the fourth quarter.
That's it. And you won it's pretty good defense.
You had Atlanta.
So I'm looking forward to next year. And, looking forward to it.
Coach,
thank you so much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Next year, go find us some players.
Oh, you know about that.
That's Darryl Walker, the head coach for Little Rock men's basketball team. Don't forget, 1 o'clock on Friday afternoon over on the Sports Animal 920 is where you will find Little Rock's first round game that they will play in the semifinals of the Ohio Valley Conference Tournament. For Darryl Walker and Joe Foley, I'm Trey Schapp. Thanks for joining us this season for the Little Rock Basketball Coaches Show. Hopefully this time next week, your Trojans will know they're going to the NCAA tournament.